Dileep Chitre is an Indian writer. Uh, he has written this beautiful poem, Father Returning Home. Uh, as you know, we are in the habit of reciting the poem twice. When I recite the poem for the first time, we'll see what is the rhyme scheme. We'll check the rhyme scheme whether the uh, sounds are matching with each other or not. Sound of every line. At the end of every line, the sound is matching with the next line or not. That is rhyme scheme. I have already told you in plus one. Even in plus two also, we have done these things. And when I recite the poem for the second time, you will try to guess the meaning of the poem. What is the theme? What is the meaning of the poem? I have already shared the PDF of this text. The text of this poem is already shared in the group with two videos. And all the meanings, all the exercises are solved, everything is done. And today we are going to start with the uh, poem. I'll explain the poem word by word, line by line. Some important uh, poetic techniques are used in this poem. That will also be, those will also be discussed side by side. So let's start the poem. Let's start the recitation of the poem.
Okay,
So I write the poem. Page number 113, poem number 6, Father Returning Home by Dileep Chitre. My father travels on the late evening train, standing among silent commuters in the yellow light. Suburbs slide past his unseen eyes. His shirt and pants are soggy, and his black raincoat stained with mud and his bag stuffed with books is falling apart. His eyes, dimmed by age, fade homeward through the humid monsoon night. Now I can see him getting off the train like a word dropped from a long sentence. He hurries across the length of the grey platform, crosses the railway line, enters the lane. His chappals are sticky with mud, but he hurries onward. Home again, I see him drinking weak tea, eating a stale chapati, reading a book. He goes into the toilet to contemplate man's estrangement from a man made world. Coming out, he trembles at the sink, the cold water running over his brown hands. A few droplets cling to the graying hairs on his wrists. His sullen children have often refused to share jokes and secrets with him. He will now go to sleep, listening to the static on the radio, dreaming of his ancestors and grandchildren, thinking of nomads entering a subcontinent through a narrow pass. Children, if you look at the rhyme scheme of this poem, there is no regular rhyme scheme in this poem. For
yes,
example, train, light, eyes, raincoat, books, age, night. So these, I mean, the sounds of these words are not matching with each other. So it's very much clear that there cannot be any question on rhyme scheme. There can be a question on rhyme scheme only if there is any rhyme scheme in the poem. This poem is written in free verse. Free verse means when there is no rhymes. So words are, sounds are not matching. So this thing is clear that this poem is without any rhyme scheme. Why do we have rhyme scheme? The purpose of rhyme scheme is uh, to provide the rhythm to the poem. For example, you take the example of any song. All the songs, they rhyme with each other. All the songs which we hear, they are in fact poems also. That is poetry only. The words are matching with each other. Why they are matching with each other? So that they can get some rhythm in the song. So in this poem there is no such thing. There is no rhythm in this poem. Let's start the poem again. Let's recite the poem for the second time. This time, don't focus on the rhyme scheme. This time, try to focus on the meaning of the poem. Try to guess the theme of the poem. Try to guess the meaning of the poem. What is the poet trying to say in this poem? Let's start the poem again. Poem number 6, page number 113, Father Returning Home by Dileep Chitre. My father travels on the late evening train, standing among silent commuters in the yellow light. Suburbs slide past his unseeing eyes. His shirt and pants are soggy, and his black raincoat, stained with mud, and his bag, stuffed with books, is falling apart. His eyes, dimmed by age, fade homeward through the humid monsoon night. Now I can see him getting off the train. Like a word dropped from a long sentence, he hurries across the length of the grey platform, crosses the railway line, enters the lane. His chappals are sticky with mud, but he hurries onward. Home again. I see him drinking weak tea, eating a stale chapati, reading a book. He goes into the toilet to contemplate man's estrangement from a man made world. Coming out, he trembles at the sink, the cold water running over his brown hands. A few droplets cling to the graying hairs on the wrists. His sullen children have often refused to share jokes and secrets with him. He will now go to sleep, listening to the static on the radio, dreaming of his ancestors and grandchildren, thinking of nomads entering a subcontinent through a narrow pass. I have written so many things on the page. It's quite difficult to see the actual textbook. If you people have seen the PDF shared by me, you will see I have tried to write the meaning. I have tried to explain the line uh, so that you can understand the poem in detail.
Yes, sir.
So coming to the meaning of the poem, I have recited the poem twice. It is your duty also. Whenever you start the poem, before that, try to recite the poem 2 3 times so that you come to know what is actually a poem, what is actually poetry, how poetry is different from prose, how poetry is different from textbooks. I mean, novels, chapters, dramas, how it is different from poetry. Uh, Coming to the meaning of the poem, Father Returning Home. First of all, children, this poem, I have already told you, it is written in free verse. There is no rhyme scheme in this poem. And second thing I want to tell you is that this poem is written in first person pronoun. This poem is written in first person pronoun. When I say first person pronoun, there are two ways to write poetry or any novel or any chapter. There are two ways to write. First is first person narrative, and second is third person narrative. Third person pronoun, you can say pronoun, you can say point of view, or you can say narrative. First person narrative, second person, first person narrative, first person point of view, first person pronoun. You say anything, it is one and the same thing. Children, third person pronoun, when I say third person pronoun, then the writer is telling the story. The character is not telling the story, the writer is telling the story, and he is using the pronouns he, she, it, they. But when I say first person pronoun, as the name indicates, first, first mean I. When character is telling the story, when the writer is character also in the story, or the character is also the writer in the story, or the character is telling the story, then it is said to be written in first person pronoun. So if you look at this poem, Father Returning Home, Father Returning Home, in this poem, the very first line, the very first word, what is the very first word? My father. My father. Now, what is my? My is first person pronoun. My is my is a pronoun. I is also pronoun. My can be used in place of I. So
Yes,
my
sir.
father.
Yes, sir.
My father. It means the writer is the character also in the poem. He is the character and he is telling his own story. In this chapter, in this poem, children, the writer has divided the poem into two stanzas. Both the stanzas have 12 lines each. There are 12 lines in each stanza, and the poet has written this poem in first person narrative. Two things we have discussed. One is that this poem has no rhyme scheme. It is written in free verse. Second thing is the poet is written in first person pronoun or first person point of view or first person narrative. This poem is divided into two stanzas containing 12 lines each. Coming to the theme of the poem, let's discuss the theme of the poem. Shweta, are you recording the video?
So,
Okay, good. I was about to tell you this thing only. Are you recording the video from the beginning or you have just started it?
sir, from the beginning,
Okay, okay, that's good.
thank
I also wanted to record the video so that the children who are absent, who are not able to attend the class because of some reason, they can also see the video later on. Even this will help you people also who are
yes,
attending the class. So children, I told you that this is in first person pronoun. Uh, in this in this poem, the poet has shown the negative picture. The poet is showing the negative picture of society, the negative picture of society, or you can say modern society. Modern society. Children, whenever we are reading any poem or any novel or any play or any chapter, there is some theme in that creative piece of writing. It can be negative theme also, positive theme also. For example, in this poem, the writer is portraying a completely negative picture of the modern society where man is separated from man, right? Man is living in this world, but still he's alone. This is the point of view of the poet, Dilip Chitre. But that does not mean that it is applicable all the time. No doubt, modern society has some negative aspect also. Obviously, if there are some negative aspects, there must be some positive aspects in the society also. That doesn't mean that the society is like this only. We are reading a poem. Uh, we are discussing the things which are there in the poem. I am not sharing my comments. I am not making any comments on anything. I am just teaching you what is there in the poem. It is not my opinion, it is only the opinion of Dilip Chitre, whatever he is discussing in the poem. It is a negative picture. He is portraying a very negative picture of the society, and he is also portraying a very negative picture of old age. Old age, negative, or you can say dangerous picture. Old age is very dangerous, or you can say it is equal to death. Old age is equal to death. But this is not the case in everybody's family, right? In his family, uh, one more thing I want to tell you. Dilip Chitre is the character also in this poem, but this does not mean that this is the reality. I mean, he is telling the story of his own father, but it's an imaginary picture. It's an imaginary poem. He is not telling anything which is in reality. Don't take this poem or any chapter or any novel to be real. All these creations, all these creative writings are imaginary things, or they are fictitious things. They are just to teach you some lesson. They are just to acquaint you with the society. What is there in the society? In society, good things are also there, negative things are also there. That is another thing, what type of society you choose, what type of society we choose. In this poem, the writer is describing a completely dark picture of the society, a completely negative picture of old age. Old people in old age, no doubt they don't have much energy, but that doesn't mean that they don't have any respect. That doesn't mean that they don't enjoy any love, any relationship in the family. In fact, if we talk about Indian families, especially Punjabi families, we people give a lot of respect to our elders. We look forward to get wisdom. We look forward to get something good from an elder. But in this poem, there is an old man. As the name indicates, father returning home. So father here is an old man. Father here is an old man and he is returning home. He is returning home. Two things I have told you, that this shows the negative picture of society, and this also shows the negative picture of old age. Both the things are there. From the very poem, you will experience this type of uh, ex- uh, experience. This type of expression will be there. So, what is the theme of the poem? Man's estrangement from a man-made world. Man's estrangement from a
Man-made world.
man-made world. Estrangement means separation. Separation, loneliness. When you are in the society, when you are living in the society, but actually you are not in the society, you are separated from the society. You uh, think, or you feel as if you are not the part of society. You feel yourself as an outsider, as an alien in the society. Then you can use the word estrangement or separation or loneliness or alienation. So man's separation from man-made world is the theme of this poem. Man's loneliness in this cruel world, man's alienation in this selfish world is the theme of this poem. What to talk about the society? You will see in this poem that he is lonely in his own family. He is the senior most member of his family, but still he is not getting any respect. He is not getting any affection. He is not getting any love from his family. So he is completely cut off from his family. He is completely separated. He is living with his family, but he is cut off from his family. He is totally separated from his family. He feels as if he is all alone in the family. Grandchildren are also there, children are also there in the family, but still he is alone. He is alone. He is not looked after by anybody. So this is the theme of this poem. I hope this much concept is clear to you.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
Kushpreet is there. Kushpreet or okay. Uh, I have a. I am little bit upset with the children of E and F section. Whenever I call them for some question, they never give the answer. They are there in the class. Their name is shown in the class, but when I take their name, they don't give any response. Maybe they join the class, then they leave. Then they leave the mobile phone like that only. Children, if you are doing this for the sake of attendance only, if you are not getting anything from the teacher, then you are at fault. It is uh, a very big illusion. You are in a very big illusion that you will without the help of teacher. Teacher is always there to help you. If you are not ready to take maximum benefit of the teacher, then you are at fault. Then you will be at a loss. I welcome all the children to come to the class, join the class, and take maximum knowledge, take maximum information. But every time same children are there. I am quite thankful to those children who are regular in attending the class, but I am quite upset with those children who never come to the class, who never join the class. Uh, the time is not going to be the same. Schools will definitely, staff is already very negative picture of old age of the society, of the family. Let's start the poem from the first line. My father. I have already told you this poem is written in first person pronoun. Who is my here? Poet. Poet's father.
Poet's father.
My father travels. Travels, children, it is evening time. Evening or
Sir.
dark or it's almost night time. You remember when we discussed the poem, the third poem, the echoing green, then I told
Yes.
you the comparison between age, uh, the day, and the seasons. There I told you childhood is equal to morning, then
Yes.
adulthood is equal to summer, it
Afternoon.
is equal to afternoon,
So,
then evening time, middle age, then night time, old age, or you can say death, old age, or you can say death, when there is no energy left in people, when they are not able to walk, when they are just counting their days, there is no life left in their life. So that type of situation is there. It is evening time. From evening, it is getting dark, dark or night. Just imagine, children, the beauty of this poem lies in symbolism. There are some symbols which you have to understand. There are some poetic techniques which you should uh, get clarified. So I am there to help you. Don't worry. So it is evening time. From evening time, it is getting dark, and one old man is there. He is coming back. He is coming back from work, and just imagine a very old man, who is not able to walk properly. He is coming back at night. It is almost night time. And one more thing, it is raining also. It is raining. It has been raining heavily, and there is lot of water. There is lot of mud. There is lot of slime on the roads, and he is coming back. Children, from here only you can well imagine an old man going to work and coming back late night. It means his family members have completely neglected this man. What should have been the case? What should have been the case? The case should be that the old man is staying at home. He is enjoying his retired life. He is enjoying his old age. The grandchildren are with him. His own children are with him, and he is having a good time. It's a rainy day, and he is enjoying a cup of tea with some fritters with the grandchildren and children. But this is not the case in this man's life. In spite of being so old, he is doing some work. It means his family members are not taking care of him. His family members are not showing any love or affection towards this old man. Maybe this is the reason that he's traveling a long distance and coming back.
Yes.
So the first line, my father travels on the uh, late evening train, Now see, late evening mean it is almost night time. Uh, he must have gone to work in the morning. Now he's coming back at night. And what is left with him? It means he's coming back home just to sleep. There will be no time left to enjoy. There will be no time left to play with his children, to talk with his children, to play with his grandchildren. Grandmother, grandfather, they have a lot of love for the grandchildren. But this is not the case with this person. Father returning home, very old man coming back home after a long day's work. It is quite dark, it's evening time, almost night, and he is coming back. Look at one more thing. He is coming on train. Train is public transport.
yes, sir.
Public transport, it means, it also shows that he's not very rich person. He's just working so that he can survive, so that he can live his remaining part of his life. So this shows many things. So in the first line only, the pathetic condition of father, the pathetic condition of old man, the pathetic condition of the society is seen. My father travels, he is coming back. My father travels on the late evening train, standing among, standing among. Can you? My father travels on the late evening train. So he returns home after day's work. So the condition is very miserable. And in trains, actually, train is a public transport, and it is the cheapest public transport.
Yes,
If
sir.
you travel if you travel in a bus, it will cost you some money. If you are traveling in an aeroplane, it will cost a lot of money. But if you are traveling in a train, it will cost you very less amount of money. Suppose if you are going to Jalandhar, Kapurthala to from Kapurthala to Jalandhar, you have to spend 25 rupees. But if you are going by train, you will get it in half amount only, or maybe less than half amount. So the first line shows many things about the people, about the family members, about this man, about the condition of this man.
Excuse me, sir.
My father travels on the late evening train, standing. Standing means here he is standing silently. Silently. Shweta Mishra, can you tell me the importance of quietly here, silently here,
Sir,
silently?
he is not speaking. There is complete silence.
Actually, there are a lot of people in the train. There are a
Yes, sir.
lot of people in the train, but still
There
there is so much silence in the train. This shows loneliness.
Yes, sir.
Of the society.
This shows that people have become so self-centered that they are not ready to talk to each other. They are happy
Yes.
on their own. This shows the loneliness. And if you talk about this man, this old man, nobody is ready to talk to this man. He is all alone, not in the train, but also in the society, but also in the family. Uh, my father travels on the late evening train, standing among the silent commuters. Silent means they are not speaking, lonely.
Nobody is speaking.
This is again a negative picture of the society, right?
Yes.
Very negative picture. Standing among the silent commuters. Children, what is a commuter?
Come-
What is a commuter? Commuter is a person who travels some distance to go to work. Like children, in your school, there are so many teachers. Some teachers are staying in the hostel only, and some teachers are in Jalandhar only. Now, the teachers who are coming from hostel to school, who are coming from Jalandhar to school, they cannot be called as commuters. They come to their work. But the people who travel some long distance, like I am coming from Jalandhar, sorry, I come from Kapurthala. Some people come from Nakodar, right? Some people come from Hoshiarpur. Some teachers come from Hoshiarpur, and some teacher come from Tanda. So they are coming, they are traveling a long distance for work. Every day they are traveling a long distance and then going back to their respective homes. So they can be called as commuters. Obviously, look at this. Look at the first line. They are coming on a train. It means they are traveling a long distance.
Yes,
They
sir.
are every day they are traveling a long distance, and they are called commuters. The people who are going to work after traveling a long distance. Here, long distance means not very long distance, distance of half an hour or 1 hour.
Sir, the meeting will end in
Yes.
2 minutes.
Okay, don't worry, don't worry. I will send you the link again. Then we'll resume the class.
Okay, sir.
So, children, the meaning of commuter is clear to everyone. Commuter is a person who travels some distance to go to work daily. That is called like I come to Jalandhar every day. I cannot walk to my workplace. I have to come on car or on a bike or Activa, or I can take a bus to come to school. But I cannot come on foot. So there is some distance which I have to cover every day. So I am a commuter. I commute every day. Children, commuter is a noun. Commuter is a noun and commute is verb. So I commute every day from my home to my workplace. So I am a commuter. Now look at the second line. Silent commuter. Same people are there. Same people are traveling every day. They are meeting each other every day. but still they are not talking to each other. Like
They are
if
alone.
Indian people are going anywhere, if they are going anywhere every day with the same people, obviously we will start talking to them. We will
Yes.
have some conversation. But
Yes, sir.
here the world is so lonely. The poet is showing such a negative picture that there are so many people, but still they are not talking to each other. So silent commuters.
The meeting is ended.